Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Are you ready?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of the Rant Show. I'm your host, as always, N7X Karu. First off, I do want to get off by saying I'm sorry at times at this point of the Rant Show. At times if you cannot hear me, not hear me, but if you can't understand me or understand some of the words I'm making out. Unfortunately, sometime last week, I forget, 23rd I think it was. Yeah, it was 23rd. I had my teeth pulled, so I'm still recovering from that. So it's hard, if at times it's hard to understand what I'm saying, I do apologize ahead of time. But with that now off my chest and out of the way, let's get started to what I want to talk about this edition of the Rant Show. I want to talk about, let's count them, 2 video games. And not just any old video games. I'm talking about Borderlands, Baldur's Gate. I keep on saying Borderlands, I don't know why. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2. Yes, these are both PS2 games, and yes, I'm still rocking the PS2, and I do play it. Why? Because there's still plenty among these two. There's still plenty of games, such as Harvest Moon, such as all the original Def Jam, Def Jam games, except for Icon, because that one sucked. But plenty of PS2 games that are still fun to play, no matter how many times you play them. But back to what I was talking about, I want to talk about these 2 games right here. For those of you who have never heard of Borderlands Dark Alliance 1 and 2, sorry, that's 2, this is 1. But these games are pretty freaking awesome. They are, see, how can I explain it? They're just awesome. They're not like, they're, see, I'm trying to find the best way to describe them without giving anything away. Just take my word, guys, these games are awesome. I realize some of the games out there may never heard of these games. So real briefly, before I get on my rant, I'll be telling you a little bit about these games without giving too much away. I will be reading, just kind of like the settings for both, that are coming straight off of both of their Wikipedias. And I will be leaving links for both storylines for both games in below, along with trailers for both games below. Just FYI though, warning ahead of time, the stories that I'm going to leave the links for below, they do give spoilers of what happens during the game itself. So if you've never played these yet, you have been warned. If you read the story, it will give away spoilers of what happens during the games themselves. But just for, like I said, for those of you who have not ever heard of these games yet, I will be reading like the quote-unquote settings for both, just to give you a brief idea of what they're about, and then I'll be getting on to, of course, my rant itself. But for Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1, once again, I'll be reading it off the Wikipedia site, but it says, the game takes place in Sword Coast and in the Western Heartland, areas in the Faerun continent of the Forgotten Realms. Each act of the game takes place in a different region. Act 1 takes place entirely in Baldur's Gate. Act 2 in the Sunset Mountains, and Act 3 in the Marsh of Chembler. I can't pronounce it. But for just for this game right here, just the first one. This game, this lovely game right here, doesn't just have, just this one place where you go, you do the story quest, and that's it. For a PS2 game, this game is seriously freaking open, and not just with the maps you go through and the places you can explore. I'm talking about with the character storylines, just everything. I mean, for both 1 and 2, just to give away a little thing, there are several characters in each game you can choose to be. You can't just, it's not just, it's just one set person. You can choose between, I think the first one is 3, and the second one is 5. So you have plenty of characters to choose from. Each has their own story that you explore and go through while doing the game itself. So trust me, these games are fun. Take my word for it. But getting back on the subject, that was the setting for the first one. The second one, while the original game focused on many areas scattered throughout Sword Coast and Western Heartlands, the second game is predominantly based in and around the city of Baldur's Gate, The second game is predominantly based in and around the city of Baldur's Gate, with much more of Baldur's Gate itself accessible, which means, unlike the first game, the second game, there's a lot more of Baldur's Gate itself you can explore. The game features several new playable main characters such as Dorn, Yasuharu, Bordur, Yasuharu, and Alessia, each of who comes to Baldur's Gate for different reasons. Dorn simply seeks fame and glory. Yasuharu has come looking for vengeance against those who attempted to destroy her family. Yasuharu is suffering from amnesia and has come in hope of finding clues about his past. Bordur comes for money in order to release his clan from its debt to the Drow, and Alessia comes to spread the word of Helm and advance to become a high-ranking priest. So each has their own in-depth storyline, like I already said before. Like I said, guys, if you have never heard of these games or never played these games, check them out. Go to your nearest thrift shop, your nearest pawn shop, some dude's garage sale. Pick up a PS2 if you already have one and find these games on Amazon, eBay, whatever have you, and play them. I am almost guaranteeing that you will love these games as much as I have. They are that friggin' good. I am still playing them, and these games have been out for over 9 years. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about. Sorry. Here's the thing I want to talk about. While there is a Dark Alliance 1 and 2, there is not a 3. Dark Alliance 1 left a cliffhanger to open the Dark Alliance 2, and Dark Alliance 2 left open a cliffhanger for Dark Alliance 3, but Dark Alliance 3 never came out. And, so how can I put this? You know what? I'll read verbatim. I'll read the let me call it the development and canceled sequel that was supposed to be Dark Alliance 3. Yes, they were originally planning. They were originally planning on making a Dark Alliance 3, but that got canceled. And why, you might ask? Why? Well, here's a brief description that I was able to find online of why it was canceled, and I'll read it word for word. It's a little long, so I am sorry. Just try to keep up. Alright, Dark Alliance 2 was first mentioned as early as April 17th, 2001, when Interplay confirmed that if the first game was successful, the sequel would enter development immediately. However, the game was not officially announced until March 24th, 2003, when Interplay revealed that they were working on a sequel for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. The only information available at the time was that the game would introduce item crafting and 5 playable characters and was slated for a simultaneous Xbox PlayStation release in the winter of 2003. On May 6th, IGN published an interview with Kevin Osborne, head of development at Black Isle Studios. He revealed that developers had taken on board any criticism from the first game and addressed those problems in the sequel, as well as making everything bigger, more enemies, characters, weapons, locations, and quests. At 2003's Electronic Art Expo in May, Interplay showcased the Xbox version in the game, the Xbox version of the game, and revealed 3 of the new characters: a human barbarian, a moon elf necromancer, and a drow monk. Interplay stated that if the PlayStation 2 and Xbox versions were sold, they would possibly consider porting the game to GameCube. In July, demos for the Xbox PlayStation 2 version were released. All 5 characters were available for play, and the character-specific side quests were finalized. Weapon creation was also showcased, as well as was co-op mode. Sorry, like I said, I'm reading this verbatim from the website I found the information on. The game was set for October release. Both IGN and GameSpot were impressed with the demos, although both expressed some concern the graphics were essentially the same as the first game, which me personally, I had no problem with. I just want to say that. At the 2003 Gen Con in July, Interplay revealed that the game was 90% complete and on schedule for the October release. However, on September 29th, Interplay announced that it canceled its publishing deal with Vindul due to alleged breaches of working agreement and failure of payment. In October, EB Games and GameStop websites changed release dates to January 2004. Interplay initially denied the delay, stating it was still aiming for a 4th quarter release and would publish the games themselves if needed. On November 6, Interplay announced it resolved its legal dispute with Vindul and had returned to their prior publishing agreement. On November 12th, they officially confirmed Dark Alliance 2 confirmed that Dark Alliance 2 would be delayed until early 2004. On December 8th, reporters surfaced that Interplay had shut down Dark Alliance 2 developer Black Isle Studios, although Interplay itself had no formal statement. On December 16th, IGN reported Black Isle Studios had definitely been closed and now existed only as a brand under the Interplay label. IGN reported that Black Isle director had quit. The studio was replaced under the management of Digital Mayhem, but with the agreement in Interplay would adopt... under an Interplay label. IGN reported that Black Island had quit. The studio had been placed under the management of Digital Mayhem, but with the agreement that Interplay would adopt a more hands-off approach. By this stage, Black Island had already begun work on Dark Alliance 3. However, the title was cancelled after Interplay failed to retain the license to use the Dungeons & Dragons label. So Black Isle shifted focus to Fallout 3. They handed in a 95% complete demo included with game functionality. The license to Dungeons the next day, however, Interplay, who were several $1 million in debt with only just over $1 million in the bank, began to fire people from Digital Mayhem. 2 weeks later, all but 2 members of the Fallout team were fired and the game was canceled. So, just after all that BS with Dark Alliance 2 came out, they already had a working demo of Dark Alliance 3, and it got booted. Freaking booted. This effectively meant Black Island Studios no longer existed. This effectively meant that Black Island Studios no longer existed as anything other than a brand. Apparently, staff were told by Interplay that they would continue to produce titles, that they will continue to produce titles if we feel that the title is worth of the Black Owl Studios name, then it would release under the brand. However, on December 18th, Interplay denied shutting the studio, claiming Black Owl Studios remain open with projects pending. Yeah, pending. The status of Fallout 3 was under review, and Fallout Brotherhood of Steel will ship January 13th. However, the very next day, December 19th, an anonymous former Black Owl employee confirmed to IGN that the studio had been closed, and although Dark Alliance 3 would still be released, Fallout 3 had been officially canceled. On January 5th, 2004, Interplay announced that Dark Alliance 2 was complete and it will release on both PlayStation and Xbox in January. The game has released as scheduled under the Black Owl Studios label. So, that I probably read more than I needed to. I hope you were still awake through all that. But, as the one part covered in that statement, they had already had a working demo for Dark Alliance 3 before the company got shut down, before Black Owl Studios got shut down. And then they just trashed it. So here comes the rant part. It's been 9 years since that game has come out. And I don't know if someone can, buy the title off of, buy the title off of them, or what someone has to do to make Dark Alliance 3 come out. But the first one, cliffhanger, covered it in Dark Alliance 2. Dark Alliance 2, cliffhanger, left it completely open for a third game. And, well, you know how it goes. They didn't make it because, of course, the company went under, and the company that took them over pretty much closed down Black Owl Studios and never finished the game, even though they had a working demo. People still love both games. Both games sold really good. But no third game. That's why I'm saying, and I will continue to say, that whoever holds the title to these games now, whether it's Digital Mayhem or whoever or whatever have you, whoever has the title to these games, either someone buy the title for these games off of them, or the person who owns the title to these games now, listen to me, make a third game, especially now more than ever, because with the release of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, you can make a game that's as open and as creative as these two games with a heck of a lot better graphics. So imagine this game, or this game, with 100 times the graphics. I'm sorry, that sounds like a pretty much kick-butt game. And I said kick-butt because I'm trying not to swear on my Rant Show. But why would you not do this? Why is this not a good idea? You left the cliffhanger on this one, covered it in this one, you left the cliffhanger on this one, and then you had a working demo for a third game, and then you just went, you tossed it. Guys, I don't know if someone can start a petition, or someone can write a letter to whoever owns the titles for these games now, or whatever have you, but someone needs to do something. If somehow the guys who own the license to these games now, is whoever somehow in my greatest wildest dreams watches this video, listen to me, make a frickin' third game. Not just 9 years later, still want a third frickin' game. So, make it. Capiche? Understand? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Make a third freaking game. You left it open for one. Both of these games had really good storylines. Both of them sold. Well, I believe Dark Alliance 1 sold better than 2, but because there were so many delays on this game. But they both sold pretty well. I'm sure, guaranteeing that if you announce that you're coming out with a Dark Alliance 3, there are more than a few people that are going to be psyched about this. I guarantee if GameStop or whoever now decides to have a midnight release of this game, there will be people lining up for this game. I am almost guaranteeing it. I will almost put my next paycheck on that people will be doing that. So get through your heads. Make a third game. Especially now more than ever, like I said, because with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, you can do so much more graphic-wise with the third game, and still keep the gameplay and storyline of both games. And it'd be really cool. It'd be really kick butt, and you should do it. Okay? Now that I ranted and raved, yeah, that makes sense. Ranted and raved about that. I wanted to announce one more thing before I'm done for the day. Before this Rant Show is over. Just a little update of things that are happening or going on. I would like to officially announce that I already announced, I think, on my past vlogs and stuff that I will be going to Otakon. But I am officially now, for sure, going to Anime USA, which will be happening the beginning of October. I will give more details about that later, like where I'll be cosplaying and all of that later on in the month, or the coming months, or whatever have you. But I just wanted to get that out of the way and officially announce I will be going to Anime USA. So I hope all of you that are going to Anime USA, I hope to see some of you there, of course. One other thing I wanted to announce real quick, just update-wise. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, I know my Facebook name says Arts of Anime. It's one of the many names I've gone under for a while. To keep things more simple and less complicated, I will be changing my Facebook fan page name to N7XCaro, same name as my YouTube channel name. Just, to keep things less complicated, more simple, and, way more neat and tidy, I guess. So there will be, pretty much for the most part, no more Artist Anime. I know my Instagram still says Artist Anime. I'll keep it that, and my Twitter's name is SPOWC. I'll keep it that, but I am going to be changing my Facebook fan page name to N7XCaro, same as my YouTube channel, just to keep things more simple and less complicated. So I just want to announce that real quick too. So I hope to see some of you in this coming conventions. I will be going to Otakon, like I said, and now Anime USA. So I hope to see some of you at both. And for those of you that follow me on my Facebook fan page, now you know that I'm changing my name, so you won't be confused when you see that the name is changed and all that. So that's it for this episode of the Rant Show. I hope all of you have enjoyed this show so far. please, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, watch my other videos, spread the word about me, and what have you. I am already at, guys, 47 subscribers, on YouTube. My goal by December is to hit 100, so I really appreciate it if you could help me achieve that goal. But guys, that is it for this episode of the Rant Show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you also, before I go, because now I'm remembering things I would like to say before this is over. But I would also like to just kind of give a general announcement, I guess. I hope you enjoyed my my changes so far to my YouTube channel. And for those of you who have watched my ColossCon vlog so far, if you noticed, my end slate thing is now different. It's a Patrick background. I will also be changing the entrance to my Rant Show videos, and also one big other announcement, now that I've remembered it. I want to start giving a more not giving, but I want to start having a actual schedule to my videos on my YouTube channel, like schedule like when certain stuff is going to come out. So biggest update I wanted to tell you before this episode of the Rant Show is over. As right after this Rant Show comes up on YouTube, from now on, every Wednesday after I come back from a convention or whatever have you, every Wednesday a new convention vlog will be coming out. So say like for Anime USA, for example, like the Wednesday after Anime USA, my first vlog, my teaser will be up. Then the Wednesday after, my first vlog will be up. Then the Wednesday after that, my second vlog will be up, so on and so forth. So every Wednesday, right following after the convention, my vlogs of that said convention will be coming up, will be appearing. As well as for my Rant Show now, the first Monday of every month, since my Rant Show comes out once a month, the first Monday of every month now, my Rant Show will be coming out. So there is a set date for my Rant Show now and for my convention vlogs. The only thing that will remain the same though is, my random videos, whether it's the bucket list videos or just the random tag videos or whatever have you. Those will still be coming out at random. The only set schedule stuff, like I said, is my convention vlogs, which will be coming out every Wednesday, starting the Wednesday after I come back from that convention. And my Rant Show will now be coming out the first Monday of every month. So I just wanted to say that as well before this episode of the Rant Show is over. But now, guys, it's this rant is over. It's done. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Rant Show. I will see you next time. Much love. O4L. Peace, love, and chicken grease. And I'll see all my crew later. Peace, guys.